A mutual friend, Ethan, introduced us. He wasn't the kind of man who caught everyone's attention at first glance. No flashy car, no perfectly tailored suits, no smooth, effortless charm. Ethan was the type who quietly held doors open, remembered the little things from past conversations, and truly listened. I almost canceled our first date. The night before, he texted, "Looking forward to tomorrow. Let me know if anything changes." It was simple, thoughtful, and completely pressure-free. I rolled my eyes, thinking he seemed too nice, maybe even a little boring, and tossed my phone aside. Even so, I decided to go. We met at a cozy little Italian restaurant in Richmond where he had already reserved a table. I arrived wearing heels that pinched my feet, expecting decent pasta and a conversation that probably wouldn't leave much of an impression. But Ethan surprised me. His questions came from genuine curiosity. He spoke less than he listened, and when he noticed I was cold, he quietly asked the staff to lower the fan. Everything felt effortless, like wrapping yourself in a warm blanket after a long, exhausting day. There were no games, no pretending, only comfort and peace. Even then, I wasn't convinced. He was thoughtful, dependable, and attentive, but he didn't have the thrilling spark I believed I wanted. He lacked the chaos I had always mistaken for excitement, the same chaos that usually left me hurt in the end. We kept seeing each other. A second date became a third. Before long, I found myself looking forward to his messages, the songs he thought I'd enjoy, and the way he remembered I liked my coffee with extra cream and no sugar. Still, I kept an emotional distance. Part of me hesitated, afraid of letting someone so dependable get too close. I had a fixed picture of what love was supposed to feel like, and somehow he didn't match it. One evening, he took me to a rooftop restaurant in downtown Nashville with a breathtaking view. The city lights shimmered below us, while soft music drifted through the air. He arrived wearing a simple shirt and jeans, still genuine, still warm. He pulled out my chair, smiled, and told me I looked beautiful. I could have simply smiled back and enjoyed the moment. Instead, I said something that would haunt me for a long time. "You're not really my usual type," I blurted out, trying to soften the words with a nervous laugh. "But you're amazing." The sentence hit him like a silent wave. His expression changed, and the warmth in his eyes faded like a fire slowly losing its light. He paused before giving a small nod and a faint smile. "I understand," he said quietly. He signaled for the check, paid without touching his drink, and fell completely silent. I nervously laughed, trying to explain that I hadn't meant it that way, only that he was different from the people I usually dated. He looked at me with calm certainty and simply said, "Maybe that was the point." Then he stood, paid the bill, and walked away. There was no argument, no dramatic goodbye, only a quiet exit, leaving his glass half full on the table. I sat there feeling shocked, embarrassed, and completely confused. I convinced myself he was overreacting, that I had only been honest, not cruel, but when I got home, I realized he had completely disappeared from my life. No messages, no social media. It was as if I had never existed to him. Maybe I had never meant that much, or maybe I had meant far too much. The days that followed were nothing like I expected. I assumed I would move on and eventually meet someone who matched my type, someone bold, exciting, and unpredictable. Instead, I kept replaying that dinner in my mind. His expression, the silence, the weight of my words. I thought about how fully he had shown up with kindness, patience, and genuine effort while I had kept him at a distance. Eventually, I realized a painful truth that still hurts today. I didn't push him away because he wasn't enough. I pushed him away because deep down, I didn't believe I deserved someone capable of loving me with such steady, genuine care. I had spent so much of my life chasing emotional chaos that I confused it with passion. His calmness felt boring only because I had become addicted to uncertainty. I was so accustomed to being overlooked that I didn't know how to respond when someone truly paid attention to me. He wasn't my type because my type had always been heartbreak disguised as excitement, people I had to chase just to feel worthy. Ethan was present. He was grounded, he was real, and I had no idea how to accept someone like that. Instead, I brushed him aside in the cruelest possible way, essentially telling him, "I like you, but not enough." A few weeks later, I saw him from across the street in Charlotte. He was walking beside someone new. She was smiling from ear to ear, and he looked more relaxed and happier than I had ever seen him. I stood quietly on the corner, pretending to check my phone while my stomach twisted into knots. He never looked my way. Or maybe he did and simply chose not to. That moment hurt more than I ever imagined because I knew she was probably receiving the warmth, kindness, and love I had been too afraid to accept. I kept telling myself I should reach out, apologize, and explain everything. But what could I really say? I had spoken honestly, and he had believed every single word. That was the hardest part. Not just that he walked away, but that he trusted what I said. Words carry weight, especially the ones spoken carelessly behind an easy smile. I lost someone truly remarkable that night because I was chasing a version of love that had never once brought me happiness. He didn't walk away because he was cold. He walked away because for the first time he recognized his own worth. I didn't just lose him. I showed him that he deserved someone better, and now he's gone.